Welcome to 3 Simple Steps to Conquering Your Fears. Notice the quote on this slide. It's at the heart of what I'll be discussing today. Fear, above all else, prevents most of us from living our dreams. The only way to conquer fear is to experience it while actually doing whatever you fear. How often have you found that you won't or can't do something because of fear? Fear, whether real or imagined, is a powerful force in our lives. It affects the decisions we make, the actions we take, and the outcomes we'll achieve. Who we are and what we do has at one point or another been influenced by what we fear. Now, the truth is, we can't eliminate fear, nor should we try, but we can still be fearless. Being fearless means knowing how to feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway is a popular phrase, often used in self-help and motivational contexts. It means that instead of letting fear paralyze you or stop you from taking action, you simply feel that fear, accept it, and move forward despite it. Fear doesn't have to be an obstacle, but rather a part of the process toward achieving goals. Growth, success, and personal development often come from pushing through fear and facing challenges head on, rather than avoiding fear altogether. During this short video, you'll learn the 3 simple steps for moving from what you won't do because of fear to what you could do despite your fear in order to find success in facing down your fears, leveraging them, and experiencing true fearlessness. Let's begin by looking at what fear is. Fear is an emotional response to a perceived threat or danger, and as such is an essential survival mechanism. If we didn't feel it, we couldn't protect ourselves from legitimate threats. Fear is also a natural and common emotion when facing challenges, new experiences, or stepping outside our comfort zone. Fear is in equal parts instinct, learned, and taught. Pain, for example, causes an instinctual fear because of its implications for survival. We learn to be afraid of certain people, places, or situations because of negative associations and past experiences. Cultural norms often teach us whether something should be feared or not. But fear can also be partly imagined. We get scared because of what we imagine could happen. We fear situations that are far from life or death and thus take no action for no seemingly good reason. And it's this what if mentality that makes fear one of the primary reasons that we don't reevaluate our lives or allow ourselves to take steps to change our present circumstances. But what if we could change that what if mindset? Where would we begin? Well, that brings us to our first step. If I asked you to name your fears, what would be on your list of usual suspects that might be causing you to take no action? What fears keep you up at night? What fears are holding you back from being able to do, have, be, or change something in your life? The king of fear naming, Stephen King, said, "If a fear cannot be articulated, it can't be conquered." So, step 1, naming your fears is a powerful first step in helping you move from beyond the limitations that fear can impose by making them less powerful and more manageable. Naming your fears helps you see them as problems that can be solved, which can make overcoming them feel less overwhelming. Naming your fears also reduces fear's power. When a fear is nameless, it can feel all-consuming. Naming it, even if it's just to yourself, can make it feel less intimidating. Increases self-awareness. Recognizing and labeling a fear can help you understand its root cause and how it manifests in your thoughts and behaviors. Allows for emotional regulation. By naming your fear, you create a space for yourself to observe it, without being completely controlled by it. This allows you to choose how to respond to the fear rather than simply reacting to it. So, what exactly do people tend to fear the most? Some common fears include spiders or snakes, heights, flying, confined spaces, public speaking, not having enough money, failure, making the wrong decision, or taking risks of any kind. So, now it's your turn to name your fears. This slide shows the 3 questions that are focused on your ability to live your dream life. Number 1, what do I fear? Number 2, what do I believe will happen as a result of my fears? And number 3, what won't I do because of fear? Now, for that first question, remember you can be afraid of objects like spiders or heights, but you can also be afraid of situations, emotions, or actions like social interaction, failure, or making the wrong decision. Now, a good tip that is shown on this slide is one way to recognize the underlying fears that influence your life is by identifying what you tend to avoid, like going to the dentist or social gatherings. Regularly steering clear of situations, tasks, or decisions because they make you uncomfortable or anxious is a sign of fear. Now, in this step, try to be as specific as possible. Labeling a fear can help you understand its root cause and how it manifests in your thoughts and behaviors. Now, for the second question, think about consequences. Why you consider the thing fearful. Again, you want to try to be specific. Dig deeper by visualizing why this particular thing makes you nervous or anxious. Understanding the root of your fear can help you face it. For the last question regarding what you won't do, looking at your list of fears, how have they manifested in your life? What actions and decisions have you taken or avoided based solely on your fears? Now, while you work through this step, be honest with yourself and keep in mind that fear is personal. No one can say you have nothing to fear. People perceive fear differently due to personal experiences, genetic predispositions, cultural norms, and mental health conditions. For some, a situation may trigger intense fear, while others may feel excitement or curiosity in the same situation. It's essential that you remember that this is about you, not what others think about your fears. So let's move on to the next step. Step number 2. I did this despite my fear. It should come as no surprise that you have already faced your fears countless times and lived to tell the tale. And yes, there might be things right now you haven't done or aren't even willing to try because of fear. But an important success factor in facing your fears is knowing that you can do it and already have. And you can use these past experiences to help you move forward. Each time we face a fear, we build a little more confidence. Each time we step forward, however awkwardly, we strengthen our resilience. Now, on this slide, you can see there are 5 questions you need to answer in this step. Number 1, when was the last time I did something really scary? Number 2, why was I afraid? Number 3, what did I think would happen? Number 4, what did happen? And number 5, why did I decide to feel this fear and do it anyway? For question number 1, describe what you did in detail and when you did it. Was it weeks, months, or years ago? This can help you determine whether you avoid or embrace your fears. Facing your fears helps you build confidence. Avoiding your fears can erode confidence. For the second question, this is about naming the fear, just like you did in the first step. What fear or fears did you face? Number 3, describe what you expected to happen that you were convinced would happen. Remember that we often feel fear because of what we imagine might happen, even though the situation is far from life-threatening. Many of our fears are based on worst-case scenarios that are unlikely to happen. Number 4, describe what actually did happen. In most cases, admittedly not all, but most of the time, what actually happened often turns out to be nowhere near as scary as what we imagined was going to happen. And yes, perhaps some of what you did imagine did happen. But when you look at the consequences objectively, how bad was it really? And for that last question, ask yourself what motivated you to do the scary thing. Maybe it was as simple as believing that you had no choice. Think about the Apollo 13 mission and Gene Kranz's now famous declaration, failure is not an option. Maybe you had a goal that was really important to you that you wanted to achieve, like facing your fear of flying so you could take a once-in-a-lifetime trip overseas. What was the driving factor that made you take action despite your fears? Now, before we move on to that next step, take a look at that last question. Why did I decide to feel this fear and do it anyway? That last question leads to the last step in conquering our fears. Notice the quote on this slide. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. This is at the heart of this step, facing my fears and doing it anyway. This is the essence of courage, not eliminating fear, but finding that something else that is more important and being able to put it above your fear in order to move forward. Courage isn't about silencing that fear or avoiding anxiety. It's about listening to it, learning from it, and using it to act. In her book, The Next Thing You Know, Jessica Strasser said this, fear is something that sometimes we need to run toward. At the heart of this running toward action is identifying that something else that you would do because it's more important than any of your fears. So for this step, there are 4 questions you need to answer so you can figure out what you would do, if not for fear, to live your dream life. Number 1, is there something I haven't done yet because of fear, but is really important to me? Number 2, how much do I really want it? Number 3, what fear is getting in the way or slowing me down? And number 4, how can I make this fear less powerful and more manageable? Now for question number 1, as usual, you want to be specific when you describe it. The details will help you figure out what actions you can take to make the fear more manageable. Number 2, dig deep on this one. Being able to do what you described in that first question. How important is it that you can do that? How much we want something often dictates what we're willing to do to achieve it. You have to find a purpose that is bigger than your fear. Otherwise, you won't follow through with the action that is necessary for you to succeed. For question number 3, look back at your list of fears that you wrote down for the first step. Which ones are at play here? Remember, you may be feeling more than one fear. It's important to articulate all of them in order to manage them because understanding leads to action. And remember, no fear is too small or silly. If it makes you anxious or uncomfortable, it's valid. What matters most is finding methods to manage it, which brings us to question number 4. Question number 4 is all about taking action. Of course, it may be easier said than done, especially if your fears are deeply rooted and have been present in your life for many years. However, even amid fear, action is possible and necessary. Fear dictates the actions we take. Think about what it means when someone is described as being paralyzed by fear. Just like real threats, imagined threats can cause paralysis. Being scared about all the bad things that may or may not happen in the future can make you worry a lot, but take little action. You're stuck in a state of fear, overwhelmed by not knowing what to do. Now, facing your fears is about taking action to confront what scares you. It's when you make a conscious choice to deal with your fear and reduce the power it has over you. The good news is that even the smallest action can shift anxiety into courage. You don't have to jump into terrifying situations right away, like jumping out of an airplane. The key is to focus on what you can do instead of what you can't control. Take public speaking, for example. Statistics indicate that nearly 60% of the population is terrified of having to get up in front of an audience and talk. Facing that fear might mean gradually getting comfortable by speaking in front of small groups, speaking up in Zoom calls or meetings, or practicing your speech or presentation in front of a mirror. You're confronting the fear of public speaking, but you're doing it in a manageable way. A good place to start is figuring out what you did in the past when you successfully faced a fear. Look back at step number 2 when you identified the scary thing you did. Were there any tips and tricks you used to take action? Being successful relies to a large extent on knowing what works for you. So now it's time to go forth and just do it anyway. Overcoming fear is a personal victory that has the potential to improve your mental health, boost self-esteem, and open yourself to new opportunities. Each time you confront your fear, it loses some of its power over you. Facing your fears doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to disappear entirely. It means you build resilience and confidence to handle the fear. You might never fully love whatever it is that scares you, but by facing it, you'll prove to yourself that you can manage your fear and carry on with your life. So as you go forward, I would ask you to consider 3 things. First, begin by naming your fears. You can't face what you don't know, but don't rush this process. It's normal for some fears to be buried deep and take time to surface. Begin with the fears that come to mind first. Others will emerge over time. And remember what we said about avoidance. Looking at what you've been avoiding is a good place to start. And of course, I always insist, seek professional help during this time if you need a little assistance or clarity. Number 2, start small with a fear that feels manageable to overcome. Pick a fear that feels somewhat attainable in tackling, like one that challenges you but doesn't completely overwhelm you. Facing fear can happen in small, manageable steps. Expose yourself slowly to what scares you and allow your mind and body to adjust at your own pace. This can give you a sense of control and empowerment. You want to set yourself up for success. So while you can and will conquer those big fears eventually, get your feet wet with more manageable ones to start. As you work through the steps to face the fear, you'll gain some experience and resilience that helps you move to bigger ones. And last, don't let the what ifs deter you. What ifs usually focus on the uncertainty of an outcome. And for many of us, uncertainty creates fear. You come to a fork in the road. One way is something you're familiar with. The other way is a road you've never taken. What might happen if you do take that unknown route? What are the odds that something bad might happen if you go that way? Is it worth the risk? This is all about the devil we know, and most of us fear that something bad might happen, and so we take the known road. But what if the what ifs never happen? Think back to a time when you took a risk despite the what ifs. How many of those what ifs actually came to pass? And then last, ask yourself this. What if everything does work out exactly how you planned it, despite your fears? So we've come to the end of our time together in this video. I want to thank you for watching. And to show my appreciation, I'm offering all kinds of freebies and goodies to each of you who watched. First of all, during the month of July only. So right now it is July 6th when I am posting this. So you have a couple more weeks still for the month of July only. You can get free copies of all of my ebooks during Smashwords annual sale. They're all available as part of the promotion and they are all free. That's right, free. You'll receive the discount automatically by adding my books to your shopping cart. The slide shows you my profile page. This is where you can use this link to browse and download one, some, or all of my books. Just don't forget, it's only good through the end of July. Also, subscribe to my newsletter. I've chosen a year of magical reinvention as my theme for all of 2025. And so each month I'm providing specific steps along with inspiration, guidance, strategies, and personal transformation tips and tricks so you can create your own reinvention roadmap. You just have to send your email address to cracksandconsciousness@gmail.com so I can add you to the list of subscribers. Check out my 2025 webinars page on my website. I'm hosting both free and paid webinars throughout the year, all focused on the theme of magical reinvention. You're on my YouTube channel now watching my video. You can watch all of my Examine, Vision, Emerge videos on this channel. I'm recording all the webinars I'm hosting this year, and I'm posting the full-length videos in the private section of my channel. Access to the videos is available for only $15 per webinar. You just need to send an email to cracksandconsciousness@gmail.com for information on how to purchase and view the replays and get the worksheets that you'll be filling out during each webinar. Then for those of you who just want to jumpstart your journey and get the basics, I'm also creating how to get started videos that include highlights from each webinar, like this video. You can watch these for free on my YouTube channel as well. And last, if you ever want to go deeper into this subject and would like some additional one-on-one coaching, let me know. And we can determine the best way ahead for you. You can use the contact me form on my website to let me know what more I can do. So thanks for watching today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So thanks for watching today. Go out there and conquer your fears.